Welcome back to the vlog, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy. We're getting our cardio in, going to see what's wrong with this vehicle. It's been in the shop for like 2 weeks. And see if it's even worth up fixing, right? Because it was a beater car, right? But we're just going to dive right into the topic of today. But first, before we do that, if you're new to this channel is about bodybuilding, fitness, and spreading positivity and your life and helping others and giving you information to help others and in your life as well, right? So today's topic is going to be about why schools don't teach you about how to handle life in general, right? So number one is you are breaded, right? Or brainwashed, I should say, that as since you're like 5 years old in kindergarten, as a good employee. Why do I say this? Right? Let's start with number one. When you're in school, you have to ask to use the bathroom. You raise your hand. The teacher says, what do you want? Can I go to the bathroom? They say yes or no. What do you have to do in a job? Right? Most jobs, not all of them, but most jobs, you have to ask to use the restroom. Correct? Number two, in school, you have a half hour to eat lunch, right? What do you do at work? You have a half hour to eat lunch. All right. Number three, you get graded in school. A, B, C, D, F. Most jobs have evaluation points, right? Yearly evaluations or whatever. And they score you. It might not be A, B, C, D, F. It might be 1, 2, 3, 4. But they are grading you on your performance. You are getting grading on your performance, right? In school, right? And John F. Rockefeller, right? He was a millionaire, I believe, back in the day. I think the whole gas thing or train, locomotive. I can't remember which, but he was the one that founded the school system and said that he wanted a nation of learners, not a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers, or something along those lines, right? I can't really remember what he stated, but this is what he stated when he founded the school system back in the day, right? He didn't want, and when he first founded the school system, he did not want thinkers. He didn't want and that's another thing, right? You can't question a teacher, right? You can't think outside the box or whatever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, you can't question your boss. You can't, or whatever the case may be, or you can't, if you put input in and say, hey, we can do this, thinking outside the box, they're easy to shut it down. So the school system itself does not prepare you for everyday life. There are no classes. Now, I know if when I was in school, right, there was no classes. So I know when my son's in school, which he is, there's not going to be no classes about money management, right? Business classes, how to start a business, an actual, not like a teacher that learned it out of a textbook, an actual like entrepreneur that has a successful business come in and teach you how to start a business and how everything else like that. I think the closest thing in school that I was taught was a 5-minute lecture on how to balance a fucking checkbook, right? Woohoo, right? No, but they want to fill classes like social studies, science. Um, they wanted to keep you obese because, is look, if you even look at it, right? Um, do you have physical activity throughout the day? No, you have gym class. Like I think I had gym class maybe 2 times, if that, a week, right? So you're sitting down, not doing anything, being lethargic for 8 hours a day. Oh, and that's another thing. That school is 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 40 hours, correct? What is a full time job? 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. Is it sinking in here? Is it sinking in, people? Like, you need to think outside the box. You need to think of, say, okay, how can I make more money? Right? Because money's not the root of all evils. Money, it can help you. We all need money to survive, right? And but I know we're getting off topic here, but you need it. So start thinking about how you can make more money, not in your little 9 to 5 job. But get back into the topic. Right? That's a that's a discussion for another day, right? That we are so brainwashed. It's not even funny because what do we do? Right? We go to school for from 5 to, let's say, 17, and let's just say you don't get a job at 16. So from 18 to 65 you're working, right? So that's 40 years of working. And you're doing the same routine, basically what you're doing in school is now, but instead now you're getting a little bit of money, right? We all need to open our eyes on this because society has brainwashed us through the school system that we need to be good little working bees, and it just it boggles my mind. Once I finally realized this and like looked at all the information and actually looked what Rockefeller even said when he founded the school system, like I was like, my mind was fucking blown, right? So that's just something to think about, right? Because listen, do we really need a school system? You could teach your kids how to read, write, multiply, add, and divide, right? Like who needs history class? Who needs science class? I never used it, even in school. When I was in school, I never used history in my everyday life. I never used science in my everyday life. You know what I needed in my everyday life? How to manage money, because when I was younger, I used to, here is my paycheck. I'm gonna go and spend it all, right? Like a do, right? Those are the classes we need in school, and these are the classes we should have been learning, right? How to go and start a business for yourself, because that 9 to 5 person you're working for, right? They had to start that business for you to get that 9 to 5 job, and you're only making them richer. So, food for thought, right? Like, subscribe to the channel, and remember to think about what I said. Till next time, live your life, make your mark, dream and dream big. We'll see you on the flip side.